Treatment of revenue receipts. Okay, so here the first topic is about the subscription. So in your previous illustrations also you would have seen subscription alone was given as like the previous year amount, the current year and the subsequent year amount. Okay, so how should we treat this kind of a subscription in the non-profit organization? Okay, there, the first treatment, that is in your income and expenditure account, what is to be done in case of subscription received? I hope you all remember I told you income and expenditure account should always have the amount related to the current year alone. Okay, so we must not add up any outstanding amount of previous year and even the amount which we have received for the subsequent year. Okay, to be very precise, you have to enter the amount of the current year alone. Okay, so here when subscription received for the current year, previous year and the subsequent period are given separately, subscription receipt for the current year will be shown on the credit side of the income and expenditure account. Since we are receiving the amount of subscription, automatically it should go to the income side, which means the credit side of the income and expenditure account. Okay, and here what all should be added? First is when you have any outstanding for the current year, okay, should be added. You must have the subscription outstanding for the current year. In that case, we will add that amount to the subscription received. The second one is when you receive any subscription in advance, okay, which means in the previous year, if you have paid for the current year, okay, subscription received in advance in the previous year which is meant for the current year is to be added. Okay, to in simple words, if you have paid anything in advance, okay, let's take for this year 2020 to 21 is our current year, right? So for this year, if you have paid rupees 10,000 as advance in the last year itself or prepaid in the last year itself, which means that amount is supposed to be paid in this current year 2020-21. So you have to add up that amount also, which means you have received in advance in the previous year for the current period. Okay, so when this total subscription received for the current year is given, in that case total subscription received during the current year will be shown on the credit side of the income and expenditure account. Okay, if in case you have the subscription outstanding which is in the previous year which is to be received in the current year, then we'll add that amount. Okay, so the same way, if we for example, okay, if you have subscription outstanding which is paid now, okay, for example there was an outstanding amount of say rupees 1000 for the year 2019-20, but you have received that amount in 2020-21. Okay, in that case you have to reduce, subtract that particular amount of rupees 1000 from the amount you have received as subscription. Okay, that is subscription outstanding in the previous year, but the amount is being received in the current year should be subtracted. The same way, when the subscription received in advance, okay, you have received the amount in advance in the current year, that is now you have received 2021, you have received say rupees 2000 for the next year. Okay, the next the amount which is to be received in the next year 2021-22 has been paid in 2020-21 itself, which means you have received in advance. In that case also you need to reduce that amount, that is you have to subtract that amount. There are four accounts. One is subscription outstanding for the current year. Okay, subscription outstanding for the current year, subscription received in advance in the previous year but for the current year. Okay, you have received the amount in the previous year but it is supposed to be received in the current year. These two alone should be added: subscription outstanding for the current year and subscription received in advance for the current year is to be added. Subscription outstanding for the for the current year, okay, is to be added. Subscription anything outstanding in the previous year, okay, which is like last year's outstanding is received now, in that case we have to subtract. Okay, then any subscription amount in the current year which is meant for the subsequent year, okay, which is to be received in the next year but we have received now itself, that case also we must subtract. So these are the treatment in the income and expenditure account. Treatment in balance sheet. Okay, so balance sheet we will be showing the subscription outstanding for the current year, and also if there is any outstanding amount of the previous years will also be shown on the asset side. Sometimes they'll give still outstanding for the previous year. Okay, in that case all the outstanding amount should be written in the asset side. And if you have anything like subscription received in advance in the current year, that should be shown in the liabilities side of balance sheet.